Music Matters. Today I'm here with Zach Settle. How you doing, my friend? Thank you for coming on the show.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me. I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Yeah, man. When I introduced your music by Shane, I got pretty excited, and just to be honest with you, I'm a fan, man. I really am liking what you're doing, and I think you got a big future ahead of you.
Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Dante.
You're welcome, man. Tell me about your new release. What's coming down the pipe? What's the new track?
Yeah, so on Friday, I'm actually dropping a new single. It's called Wake Up. And basically it's just about like taking um it's like it's about in a nutshell, it's about taking medication to escape reality, but also realizing that um you could do anything with your life and like waking up with a purpose every day. It's pretty much what it's about.
That's a pretty heavy topic. How'd that come about? Does that like play a role in your life a lot?
Um, yeah, well, I think it used to, and it doesn't that much anymore. But it definitely used to. It is a heavy topic, but it's one of those songs where it's a very upbeat song, and you could definitely like dance to it or like bob your head to it. But um, it's like the lyrics are like the undertones that like there's more to the song than like the average listener would like hear the first time around, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. That's interesting to me because I feel like on a lot of your tracks, some of the material isn't as heavy. Do you think you're trying to move in a direction where you're writing about heavier stuff and topics like that more?
Um, yeah, definitely. I don't really know exactly where I'm headed. I have I'll get ideas every now and then I'll just try and make songs about them. Like usually when I'm making songs, I'll start off with just like playing chords on a guitar, and then um, once I play those, it's just kind of like whatever the sound makes me think of. It could either be something sad or just something happy. Like in Tryhard, it's like pretty like happy, upbeat song. And then this one's also like really upbeat, but it just has like those undertones. Um, so I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. Do ideas usually come to you naturally like that, or do you ever sit down? You're like, I want to write a song about this, or does stuff usually come up pretty naturally?
I'd say it's like 50-50.
Mm.
Sometimes my main producer, his name's John. He goes by Luna Nalu, but he basically makes all of my beats. Like he'll put the drums on them, and sometimes he'll send me a beat, and then I'll just hear it, and I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, like I could totally like write something to this," and then like the lyrics just come naturally. And other times, I'll come up with a concept beforehand, and I'll be like, "Okay, like sit down, like how do I want to approach this? Like I don't really know how I want to do this, but I'll like formulate it and get it all together."
Hmm.
Yeah.
Is your producer from Washington as well? What did you say his name was?
Yeah, so his name's Luna Nalu.
Okay.
His real name's John Glenn, but he goes by Luna. He's from Oaxaca, which is like by the coast. I'm from like the Seattle area, but we met in college. So yeah,
Okay. And you're still in college, right, in Washington?
yeah. I'm a junior at Washington State University. That's where I'm
Okay,
at right
that's
now.
what's up, man. Is
Yeah.
that been hard for you? Because that was interesting to me. Something that I first started looking into you and your music and who you are. That you really don't see people who are that far into college to where you are, and they're still trying to maintain that balancing act of like music and college. And that was really impressive to me because I would imagine as a college student as well, and somebody who's trying to do something, it's not easy. So has that been hard for you, kind of maintaining that balance between your college life and your music life?
Yeah, 100%. Like it's very hard, especially these last few years too.
Mm.
It's been like man, it's been really difficult. I've been taking some more difficult classes, especially as like I've been getting older and stuff. In these junior and senior years coming up, I just have a lot more on my plate, and so to balance music out with um, like college partying life and um, like just school in general, it's hard. It's not easy, but basically, anytime I have any sort of free time, I'm always working on music. So yeah.
Yeah, just like I feel like a big part of that too is like you were saying, like always working on music. It's kind of just dwindling down your priorities because when you're dealing with two things that big in your life, like music, which is what I assume you hope to do as a career, and then
Yeah.
also school, you don't really have time for anything else.
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself like? Do you ever feel like it's hard? Because I don't know. I feel like this, and I've talked to a lot of people about this. For online school purposes, I find myself when I'm at home or whatever, just working on work, I always find myself drifting off and wanting to do like stuff for Above the Bridge. Do you ever feel like that with music?
Yeah, definitely. Like especially when I'm like sitting in class and stuff. Like cuz with these online classes too especially, they're just hard. They're way harder to sit through compared to like when I was a freshman or even first semester sophomore year. Like going to classes was something it's something that I really miss. Um just because it was like way more fun and now like when I'm sitting in online class, I'm staring at my computer, which is the same computer that I make all my music on, and I'm just like, wow, I really wish I was like making music right now instead of being in this class. So I totally get that. Yeah.
Are you guys fully online?
Yeah, we're fully online.
Yeah, same here over in California. It's been
Right.
tough. Have you been able to hang out with people a lot up there? Or are they pretty strict?
Um, I would say yeah. Like honestly, there's nothing that's really strict. It's like um there was a huge there was actually a huge COVID outbreak here first semester and ever since then the school did crack down a little bit and like get more strict but usually like if I'm gonna hang out with people I'll always like ask like it just depends. It really depends on who you're hanging out with. I keep a close circle of people that I always hang out with, so yeah.
Hmm. And you met a lot of people you make music with through the Pullman Collective and stuff through school, correct?
Yeah. My buddy Sam, my buddy Vasily, and then John is the producer for that. But yeah, I met him all through school. I met Sam in high school, or actually, no, in middle school. Sam and I like grew up together. So I met Sam in middle school, and then I met John sophomore year of college, and then I met Vasily also sophomore year of college. Um, because we all ended up going to Washington State University. Me and Sam used to make music in our dorm room. It was it was really fun because we roomed together freshman year, and that was like one of the craziest things ever. Just because we would get home from class or whatever, and it would just be so fun because he like we both just have like the same passion for music. So we would just sit down and like in this little tiny room, and we're just like making the trying to make like the best music that we possibly can make. Yeah, it's super fun though.
So you were making music by yourself before the Pullman Collective, or was that first and then you transitioned to more? Because I was looking back at your a lot of your older stuff on like SoundCloud and stuff. It seems to me like you've been really making music for a long time.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a while. I actually I used to go by Z.Settle on like Spotify. And that was the name that I had on there. I had like 4 albums and like over like it was like 50 songs or something like that. And then I ended up taking them all down. And I'm glad you checked out my SoundCloud because there's a ton of stuff on there. And so yeah, like um it was a I have a lot of music. I'm really glad though that I just changed to Zach Settle because I feel like it's more me and like I don't know. For some reason, it's just like I don't know. It was a good choice, but yeah,
Did you consider moving all your Z Settle music to like your Zach Settle platforms, or was there a reason you
yeah,
wanted to delete all that?
yeah. I did. It was something I like contemplated for a really long time because I was like, because I had even though the fan base that I had was small, I
Mhm.
still had it, and so I knew that once I took those songs down, I was gonna get texts and like Snapchats and like just hit up by everyone and they'd be like, "Where's all your music? Like where'd it go? Like what'd you do?" And then yeah, so I honestly something I thought about was making like a greatest hits playlist and I would upload like 20 of like my best songs um from like the Z Settle era, but I was like I would rather just like start fresh. And like I'm really glad that I did because some of those songs that I made back then just are hard for me to listen to now, and I don't really like them as much. And like, I feel like I'm at a level right now where like the production is just way better, and like all the music is more original. Um, and like, yeah, it's just way more authentic now. So I'm really enjoying it now.
Was the majority of that stuff made when you were still in college, or was that even earlier, like in high school and stuff?
Even earlier in high school, like, I think I started putting stuff out on SoundCloud when I was like a freshman in high school. Um, and it's really bad. You could probably find it. You could probably find it somewhere. Um, but yeah, it's definitely not. It's nothing like my new stuff. But I mean, that's what comes with practice. You got to start somewhere. But yeah, I just kept putting music out. Um, Sophomore year, and like in high school too, I was like balancing like football and stuff. I felt like high school was like, I don't know, it wasn't as hard though as like college, and it's like time consuming. And I don't know. I just kept putting music out though, and then I went to college, kept putting music out, and now we're here. So
Where you're at right now, you do you fully intend to try to make this into your career?
yeah, yeah,
You're like all in?
100%. Yeah, I would love that. That's like the dream. That's been a dream ever since I was a kid. Um, I used to be like swinging on my rope swing in my backyard, like just like singing songs, jumping on my trampoline. I have videos that my mom took of me when I was like 9 years old, and I'm like playing. I got my first guitar when I was like 9, and I was like playing my guitar in the garage and like singing songs and stuff. So this is something I've like always wanted to do, and so to hopefully be able to make a career out of it someday, that's like the ultimate goal. So that's what I'm trying to do, really.
For anyone who's curious, this is Shane who just joined. He's ex manager and a good friend of mine. Um,
Yeah.
What's up?
but beyond that, when you first began making music, was the goal to eventually pursue it and turn it into a career, or was the goal more you were just doing it for fun?
No, I was totally doing it for fun at first. Like that was the whole thing. My friend so it basically started with this app. It was called Auto Rap, and my friend Pedro and I, we just like started like rapping on it, and we would like have you could basically like rap battle people, and it would just like play a beat, and then you could just like record through your phone. Like that was pretty much what it was, and you could like rap battle your friends and stuff. And so Pedro and I rap battled each other, and he played one of my raps for his mom, and we were like sophomores in high school. I think I was like 15 or 16. He played a song for mom, and she was like, "Wait, like this is actually good." And then and so like ever since then, I was just kind of like I was like, okay, like I might as well try and do this, you know? So
Shout out Pedro's mom.
for real, she deserves that credit.
That's so funny, man.
Yeah.
So did you grow up with music in the household then?
Um, yeah, of course. It's so funny because, like, I don't. I would say that I wouldn't say that I'm a rapper, but I could definitely rap. Like, I like to refer to myself as an artist because I didn't grow up listening to like rap music strictly. I didn't listen to rap music until I was like in 8th grade, probably. Like, I was strictly listened to like rock and like I really liked Linkin Park because it was like rock rap like mix. And my dad showed me all like these rock bands and stuff because he was really into rock music. Um, and so like I used to listen to like Nickelback and like Shinedown and like all these bands that are just like they're really good, but it's not anything like what I'm making right now. But I think I took those influences as a kid though. And my whole mom's side of the family is super musical, like all very musically talented. They all know how to like play the piano and stuff, and they were like taught that as their kids. Like my grandma is really good at guitar, and like she plays the organ at her local church. Um, like they're just very musically inclined. That whole side of the family. But my dad's side, not that much. My dad just showed me cool like music and stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah.
I definitely hear that mix of influences come across like in your music and stuff. I hear like Dominic Fike and like stuff like that, like a hip hop kind of indie audience. When you first learned to play the guitar, who taught you? Was it an academic thing? Like, did your parents push you into it?
Um, I think so. Man, so I've only like seriously been practicing guitar for like the past like year and a half now. Um, because all my old guitars were just like really shitty, and so I never wanted to play them. But I got my first guitar when I was 10, And then I went to one guitar lesson. I remember it vividly because I learned like one song, and it was at like this local place, and my mom paid for it. But I went one time, and then she was like, "Do you want to go again?" And I was like, "Meh." And so I probably didn't touch a guitar for like 5 years. Um, and so I don't know. I've just recently been getting back into it, but I'm self-taught, and I'm learning now. I'm taking a few guitar classes, so I guess I'm not completely self-taught, but like I don't know. I really, like you said, you can hear those Dominic Fike influences, and he's like a major inspiration for like why I want to get really good at guitar, because when he plays, it's just like something magical, and so I want to do stuff like that. It's really cool.
And you're doing music in school, correct? Like, aren't you going to school for
Yeah.
something musical, correct?
Yeah, so I'm majoring in public relations, but I'm minoring in music technology, which is a new minor that just came out when I was like a freshman coming into college. That was like the first year that they were offering it. And so, yeah, I'm trying to do music technology. It's so funny though, because I sit in these classes, like in these music tech classes, and I feel like I already know like all the stuff that they're talking about. It's like the music classes where I am learning stuff in are like all the credits, like the extra credits that I have to take to like graduate for the major or the minor, I mean, which are like music theory classes and like guitar classes and like all of that kind of stuff. Like I know nothing about music theory. I've like always listened to everything like by ear. And so, yeah.
That's exactly what I am. I'm trying to major in music industry studies,
Oh, no.
and going from, I guess, probably a similar thing, just taking theory on no knowledge. It's tough, man.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I want to talk to you about Superstar. When I
Okay,
when
yeah.
I when I listen to that track, I'm very curious. Did you write that in like a hypothetical, like, I guess, would it be first person, second, first person, whatever, like a
Yeah.
future perspective? Was that the inspiration behind that song?
Yeah, yeah. So like yeah, I'm glad that you caught on to that too. So basically like the
I
whole
didn't even catch on
first
to that, I'll be honest.
what's that, Shane?
I didn't even catch on to that.
Oh yeah. So basically like the first verse is all about like present day. It's like my attitudes like present day, like how I feel about like music. And I'm like, what would happen if well basically I was like, you know what, fuck everybody, like I'm gonna blow up. Like I'm gonna do this, like I'm like ready. And then the second verse is all about like I think it starts like, let's say I made it for real, labels taking a deal. Um, basically, it's from the perspective as if I was like signed and like I made a bunch of money, and I was thinking about like the potential consequences that could come with that, and so like things like missing my family, and like feeling lonely, and so I was just like contemplating that, and I was like, damn. And so one of the things I was thinking at the time when I was writing that, I was like it kind of changed the whole vibe of the songs. It's super upbeat, and then at the very end, it's like maybe you were there to. He's like, you should have been there to tell me to not get famous, and then it just goes right in like, where were you before I was a superstar? And like, it was just like a lot of people talk about fame. Like all the people that are famous hate being famous. That's something I've always thought is like so funny because they don't want to be famous. Like, and honestly, I don't really want to be famous either. I just want to be like successful, and I want to be able to do this like as a career. But like unfortunately, in the music industry, fame comes with that stuff. And so when I was writing that, I was just thinking about like potential consequences of what would happen if I really did like blow up and get famous or whatever. So yeah.
So that's interesting because I feel like too, correct me if I'm wrong, but to me it seems like your profile has really grown since, just a couple weeks ago when you released Tryhard. And do you see small portions of that, kind of hypothetical guess of what would happen to you in Superstar coming into fruition?
Yeah, 100%. I like to think so. But you never really know. Yeah, when I wrote that song though, I was kind of manifesting low key. Like I want people to be able to look back on that song in like a year and be like, "Damn, that's crazy that he wrote that." Like way back when he like didn't even like when no one knew who he was. That was like the goal kind of.
Hmm. How have you been dealing with the reception of Tryhard in general? Like, has there been lots of like subtle changes in your life since you dropped that track? Like, really, how much have you grown since you dropped that song? Because to me, it seems like it's changed a lot.
Yeah. Tryhard is it's so funny because I'd never before Tryhard I never made a song like that ever. It was like
Mm.
that super like indie like kind of like alt rock kind of vibe, and um, it seemed just like all my friends really fuck with that song and they really like it. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on here. Can I swear?
Go for it.
Okay, cool. All my friends totally like they really fuck with it though, and I had some friends come up to me and they were like, "Yo, like, um, I like your rapping." They were like, like you can rap, but like this is it though. Like whatever you just did on this, like keep doing it because this is really cool. And so yeah, I don't know.
That's so interesting to me because you say that, like, you were playing guitar before you ever rapped, and you were into rock music before you ever, got into hip hop. Did you think, like, when you started making music, did you have the intention of being a rapper? I know you say now you tend to be an artist, but then were you like, I want to be a rapper, or were you like, I want to be an artist still?
Yeah, I was totally like, I'm gonna be a rapper. Like, like I was like, I'm gonna be the next Eminem. Like, I'm gonna be the greatest rapper ever. And like now, I don't think that as much because also just of how rap has changed in general. Like when I was in high school, um, we were still like all writing off of like Kendrick Lamar's "Good Kid, Mad City," and like that was like the coolest kind of music. And like even like when he dropped "Damn," and like it was like before like the Juice World and like the like kind of like punk rap like melodic rapping era. And so I was like really all about like I'm gonna have like the craziest flows and like I'm gonna be like such a good lyricist. And like now like times are changing and that music is less popular than like um this kind of like indie stuff that I've been getting into. And I honestly really enjoy making the indie stuff like more. Like I really like singing. So I'm happy.
That's good, man. Was Eminem a big influence? Because that's funny that you bring that up. I was listening to one of your really old like freestyles on your Instagram, and you made a Papa Doc reference, and I was laughing.
Oh my
And it
god.
was like, do you know? Yeah, do you know what I'm talking about?
I probably did. Yeah, got it.
That's such a like deep reference to pull from. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
8 Mile.
Yeah. No, dude. Yeah, man. 8 Mile, dude. 8 Mile changed my life, man. That movie is so,
Me too.
it's so good, and
Got me to
like,
hip hop.
yeah, it,
Nah.
it's yeah, it's crazy. And Eminem's like a huge influence because like I'll always refer to him as like the greatest lyricist of all time. I don't know if he's the greatest rapper. I think Kendrick Lamar is the greatest rapper of all time, but like Eminem with
That's
lyrics,
a hot
it's
take.
insane.
That's
Yeah, it's a hot take. It's a hot take. But Eminem lyrics though, they're incredible. He's a huge influence and inspiration. Like I really like his older music a lot. Like I got a bunch of his vinyls and stuff.
That's sick,
Huge
man.
info.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the Pullman Collective a little bit. How was
Okay.
the process of that recording your guys' album? Like, where'd you
So
record
fun.
it? It was fun.
So fun. So we recorded it all in my room here. Basically, oh man. So it took a long time because we started out like right before summer hit. And so basically we had like 3 months where we weren't gonna see each other and we were like, okay, like, you know what, we'll get back to it in like 3 months. And we made like 2 songs before we left because we were like, okay, like we should make an album. We had this idea. We're like, we're gonna make an album. Um and we go like we leave for summer or whatever, we come back and we decide like, okay, we're gonna do this. Like we're actually gonna try really hard. And so, excuse me. Um So basically, they'll come over in the studio and like I set this up. So basically, like we don't like go to actual like studio to record, even though that would be really fun. There's just not one in Pullman. Like Pullman's in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like there's nothing around here. Yeah, it sucks. It's in the middle of nowhere. So basically, I got a home studio, which I bought these blankets that I just hung from my ceiling, and I made like a little cage. And so basically, that's where like I record all my music, or like at least all the vocals. And so, man, it was so fun working with those guys though because we get along really well, and we're all like pretty good friends. And so once you like have that chemistry, and you just have John throw on a beat. Vasili's like, we're all just like sitting there writing. Vasili's like, yo, I got a hook. I'm like, okay, cool. And then like he'll go and record it. We'll put it on. And then Sam's like, I got a verse. And then I'm like, I got a verse. And then we're just like all sitting there. And then like by the end of the night, we're all just like, yo, let's go. Like this is like so hype. And we are like got a song done. It's just, man, it's so fun. Super
That's
fun.
so awesome, man. I feel like that would you say that's a similar way to the way you write music, just very natural? Things just come to you?
Yeah, supernatural. Supernatural.
That's really cool, man. When you say Pullman's the middle of nowhere, that's kind of another thing I want to talk to you about.
Yeah,
I
pretty
was
much.
wondering where you're from in Washington, have you ever found that you've had some trouble getting bigger musical connections in an area like that? Is there a big music scene? Like, did you grow up listening to a lot of local music? What's your local music situation looking like?
Yeah, I definitely like in like the Seattle area, I definitely feel like I listen to a lot of local music. Like I listen to a lot of Nomads,
Mm.
and like other like Seattle groups that were like really talented at the time, and they were like pretty big when I was in like middle school age. Because my older sister would always show me like local music and stuff, because she was the one who would like always go to concerts and stuff. I was kind of like a introvert until like I came to college, but um, yeah, basically like I don't know. I always listen to local music, but at the same time, like Seattle, I'm not like from Seattle technically, but I'm like from the Seattle area. Like I grew up in Renton, which is like 25 minutes south of Seattle. Um, and I don't know. I guess it's hindered stuff. Like I've always wanted to just be in LA. And so like that's why I'm really trying to go there. And being in Pullman sucks because there's nothing out here. Like there's no I think there's like two like venues maybe downtown. It's just weird though. And like the population though is just all old people or it's college students. So it's really strange. I think the population's like 30,000 like when there's not COVID happening. So like right now it's probably like 20,000. There's not a lot of people here.
Was that something you consider when you were trying to figure out what you wanted to do after high school?
Um, Wait, what do you mean?
I mean, like in terms of where you're going to college, did you think about it musically? Like, where you're like, oh, should I go here because it has a certain scene? Should I go here because it has a certain scene?
Hmm. Well, honestly, well, to be completely honest with you, I applied to UW and I applied to Wazoo because I knew I had to go in state just for like money reasons. And I applied to UW, didn't get in, so I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to Wazoo. So, I don't know. I wanted to go to like a university though. I didn't want to go to a community college. But I'm so like I'm really glad that I came here because I've made so many connections because students come from everywhere. Like and so I'll meet people that live in LA, that live in Atlanta, that live in Colorado, that live in like wherever. And so it's really nice to meet them and then they go home and they show their friends my music and then all of a sudden it's like I don't know. It's really cool to see though. It's like a big spider web kind of thing.
It propagates. I know what you mean. It goes from like person to person to person.
Yeah.
Do you have any interest in moving to LA when you're done with college? Do you think that's something you want to do? And also, do you think you're going to finish your degree?
Yeah, so it's so funny. I was thinking about this. I like to think about it like if everything goes right, I won't get my degree. Just because like, if I get famous or whatever. But um if I end up graduating from college, which I'm on track to right now, by like 2022, spring 2022, I really want to have enough money and stuff to just be able to go to LA and just move there because I just feel like I need to be there. Like I feel like I can make so many connections with people, and it's always been my dream since I was like in high school to live in LA. We went and visited there as as a family one time, took a family vacation there, and it was just so nice, and I loved it. So I was like, I could totally live here. So
Start saving up that money now.
yeah, I know, seriously.
It's
Are you
worth
close
it.
to your family?
Was that? Am I close to my family? Yeah,
Yeah.
big time, big time.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm really close with my sister, and I'm really close with my mom. I'm close with my dad too. We're all really close, and they all like are huge supporters of my music and everything, and they really like it. So that's always a really big help too. Like, I don't know, they love me. They're awesome. I love them.
That's really cool, bro.
Yeah.
Um, one more thing I want to talk to you about that I'm very interested to hear what you have to say about it. Tell me about the Jack Harlow experience. How was that? Rapping for Jack Harlow.
That was fucking dope. Um, yeah, so like I did this rap battle competition basically for Wazoo. Like Wazoo Student Entertainment Board hosted this thing, and it was like judged by Drewski, and so that was the whole thing. I had no idea that Jack Harlow was gonna be there. Anyways, literally, um, I start rapping. So it was like a bracket style tournament. There was 8 kids, and so like we just like it was like whatever one person went, whatever like rotation, 30-second rounds and stuff, and um literally I'm the first guy to go. It's like me and it's versus my friend Sam too. And I felt so bad for him though. It was hilarious. But anyways, I literally rap and by the end of my verse, Drewski's like, "Oh shit," cuz I rapped over the Tyler Hero beat and he's like, "Oh shit, like we need to call Jack." And I was like, "Oh, like he's just fucking with me. Like he's not actually going to call Jack Harlow like whatever." And then by the time I spit the second verse, um literally Drewski has Jack Harlow on the phone and he's like yo Jack, like you got to check out this kid. He like holds the phone up and like all of a sudden I'm just I'm just talking to Jack Harlow and we're just like chilling and like in my head I was like freaking out, but like I don't know, it like I didn't show it though. I was like very calm. I played it cool. It was so funny. All my friends were like, "Bro, you had to be like freaking the fuck out," and I was like, "I was," and they're like, "You didn't look like it." But yeah, Jack was really nice though. He told me to just keep going. He said he really respected what I did, and he thought it was really good. So like that was a huge thing. Like just mentally, it was like, damn, like huge confidence booster. Made me feel like really good about myself and just like the future.
Who were the other kids in that competition? Just all kids from Washington State?
Yeah, all kids that just go to the school. I didn't even know like half of them. The only kids that I knew were like the kids that are in the Pullman Collective because we all made it. I think there was like 20 submissions or something, and they took 8, and we all made it. Like
What are the odds of that? Did that 20 submissions and then the guy he just calls Jack Harlow? Like
crazy, crazy.
that's,
I
that's
don't know, man.
insane to me. How
It,
did how did you guys meet? You and Shane?
Shane just hit me up on Instagram. I think he found my page. Shane, you might be able to answer this question better because you hit me up.
My boy Grayson. So I got a couple friends that go to Wazoo too, and my boy Grayson. It was like 2 in the morning one night, I don't know, and he just hit me up. He's like, "Yo, go peep this fool's Instagram page," and he was just saying that he was talking to Zach at a party or something, and so then I just started scrolling through his page, and I'm always looking, scrolling through Instagram and just looking for people, looking for new talent stuff and not only talent, but people that are like actually passionate about it and actually like have already put in time into it, that people that have proven that they're serious enough. And so I saw Zach's page, and obviously, he has a great sound and he can rap, he can sing. And like I said, he'd already shown on his profile that he's serious about it. And so, yeah, I just took it upon myself to hit him up and basically just, offer my help to him.
Do you remember Zach? Do you remember that? Like do you remember talking to Shane's friend, or was that
I
all of
never
a sudden?
I never talked to Shane's friend, but I talked to like I just talked to Shane and he was like my friend Grayson told me about you, and I was like, okay, cool. I was like, because I don't know I didn't know who you were. I was like, I have no idea who this guy could be. And then you were like, let's hop on a call. And I was like, okay. And then normally when I get DMs and they're like, let's hop on a call, it's like, hey, do you want to give me $100 and I'll promote your music? Like literally, that's always what it is. And so, but Shane, he didn't ask me for any money, and he was like, hey man, listen to your music. It's really good. I really fuck with it. And I was just like, respect, man. Like that's hella cool. So I don't know. That's pretty much how we met, though. The internet's a crazy place. It's cool. It's cool as hell.
Lots of pros and cons, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
The internet's a very, very crazy place.
Yeah. So
Future, what do you have an EP plan? Do you have any kind of major length release planned? Anything like that? Like when are you planning on putting out a project?
Yeah. So I really, really want to make like an EP, and I'm working on it. I've been working on it for a while, but I've just been so busy with school, it's hard to do. I've been trying to come up with a concept, and I have like all of the themes that I want to hit, like already down and stuff. So expect an EP from me in the future, but I can't guarantee on when. Until then, though, I will like consistently be dropping singles at least once a month. So
Sweet,
That's
yeah.
what's up, man. I feel like that is an underrated thing. People try to be sparse with their releases. I feel like dropping like once a month is definitely a good goal to hit.
it's the Russ strategy, man.
Oh yeah, the rest strategy.
I was just talking to my homie about that yesterday. Literally, he's like,
Really?
I gotta start dropping songs recently, all the time, like Russ. And it works. It works if it's good music. Obviously, if it's shitty music, then it's like you're just releasing a bunch of shitty music over and over again. But like someone like Zach, for instance, who is obviously talented. Yeah, I think that's a great strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's more chances and more opportunities for people to hear your stuff.
Yeah, sure.
100%. So when did you first start taking your music seriously in terms of a career? Like when did you decide I no longer want to do this for fun? Moving forward, I want to take this seriously and try to turn it into what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
When I changed my name to Zach Settle,
Hmm.
that was like huge for me because I was like I was just like done fucking around. Like I was just like now is like the time for me. Like I don't know. I spent way too much time like waiting for a sign that like I always had friends and stuff that were like, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And then I was just like, yeah, like it would be cool, it'd be cool. But then I was like, you know what? Like, fuck it. I should just do it. And so I've like really, really been taking this stuff seriously now. And I think it's so funny because I think the main reason that a lot of people don't want to take like music seriously is because they're like afraid of like what people are gonna think and stuff. Because it's so much easier to just like make a song and then be like, oh yeah, it's just a joke, it's just a joke, like to your friends and stuff or whatever. But like, I've honestly gotten like hella respect for like taking it seriously though, and I think a lot of people respect me for it. So like, I don't know. The main reason I make music at the end of the day though is just like to influence somebody else's life like somehow. um I've got DMs and stuff from people that have been like, hey, like this song like helped me through like my parents divorce, or like this song like really helped me when like my brother died and stuff like that. And like those messages are like crazy. It's the coolest thing ever.
Was that a
But yeah.
fear for you? Like when you originally started making music or taking it seriously rather, were you afraid that people wouldn't take you seriously?
Yeah, especially since I was like in high school I played football, and I was supposed to be like the next, well, I did. When I was a senior, I started quarterback for my football team, which is like
Wow.
that was what I was supposed to be. And I was like, because I played football my whole life, and I was like, by my senior year though, I was so bored of it, and I felt like everyone around me knew me as the quarterback, and I just wanted to change that. I did not. There's videos of me rapping, like rap battling kids at two-a-days. And like there's this one video where I just roasted the fuck out of this kid and the whole team went crazy. But yeah, like I just wanted to change the whole stigma. Like I was not supposed to be a fucking star quarterback. Like I was not supposed to be that. And like so
Were you
yeah,
thinking about playing
I
in
was
college?
super scared. What's that?
Were you thinking about playing in college?
No.
You weren't.
No. I never had any aspirations to play football in college. I didn't like it that much, but I was just the best at like I was like the best quarterback that we had, so I was that guy.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I was really afraid though. I was afraid of everyone, like what they were gonna say, because like it's like public embarrassment if it's bad, and everyone like could make fun of you. But at the same time though, you just gotta be like fuck it, because I mean at the end of the day, nothing really matters. It's whatever. Someone can have an opinion on you. Just gotta be yourself though.
That's a big threshold. Once you get past the point where you can tell yourself that your opinion of yourself is the most important and nobody else is more important than it, I feel like that's a huge threshold to break.
Huge, super huge. I agree.
Because I feel like the longer you're putting stuff out and you're in your own head, and you're in your own head about it, and you're telling yourself that, oh, people aren't gonna like it, then people won't like it. if you put it out with the confidence and say, oh, people are gonna love this, then I feel like there's more inkling for somebody to love it.
Yeah, 100%.
So how long after you started taking music seriously did you put out Ships?
That was the first song that I made where I was like, okay, like this is gonna be like my first song that like I want to be like for real about and like serious. I don't know. Wait, what's your question? How long?
Like how long after? So the time between when you decided that you wanted to keep taking music or
Oh,
begin taking music seriously, how long after that did you put Ships out?
it was probably like 4 months or something. Like I'd probably say. I was just trying to make as much music as I possibly could and make it as good as I possibly could, like make it. And um yeah, because that was like a huge turning point. But yeah, I love Ships though. Ships is crazy. There's like a million vocals in that song.
Do you have a lot of unreleased stuff? Like do you have a ton of music that you made that you haven't put out?
Yeah, I do. Like I'll always make songs. Sometimes like the reasons for like them not being released though is normally just like because I don't think it's good enough. Because I feel like I hold myself to a pretty high standard. But I have a few songs that like some people will just never hear because they're just like very personal. And sometimes I just write like because it's like a release when I like write like music and record music. So sometimes that stuff can get like too personal and too dark, and it's like, whoa, I don't want anyone to hear that. So those will probably get locked away. But I do have a lot of unreleased music though that I need to drop.
I think that's really cool that you do it for yourself first. If you can't do it for yourself, then you can't do it for anybody else.
Exactly, I agree.
All right, man. Well, this was a lot of fun. I appreciate you having you on. Tell everybody find where they can find your music. Tell everybody your socials.
Hell yeah. Just find me. It's Zach Settle on Spotify. That's ZACH space SETTLE. And then also my Instagram is at Zach Settle, ZACH SETTLE. And then my Twitter is also the same thing. So, yep. Thanks, guys.
You got that, and you got that song dropping this week.
Oh, yeah. We got the song dropping Thursday at 9 p.m. Wake up. It'll be out everywhere.
Slapper.
All right.
Slapper.
Thursday, 9 p.m. All right, guys. Good talking to you. Appreciate you both.
All right,
All
Dante.
right, thanks, Dante.
All right, we'll see you later.